Welcome to another episode of Casualty and welcome to an episode of ER. Yes, we're going to talk obviously about the upcoming cup final on Saturday and how Rangers are missing a number of very important players for, well, some are important, some are not so important. It depends on how you think about this. And we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the fact that Rangers are continually being linked with every man, his dog, his cat, his hamster, and his goldfish's budgerigar, as well as we obviously know that this summer will hopefully be a one of big change around the club. And we're going to get onto that in the second half of this video. So if you want to know who the prolific Kosovan striker is, who is being linked with Rangers, but is a doubtful one, who the Georgian attacking midfielder is from Graz, the Austrian champions, very highly rated Georgian central attacking midfielder is, then hang around and watch the second half of this video. So, right, let's deal with this issue of the cup final. It is a huge game. It is a massive game, not only for the fact that there is a lot riding on it for both sides of the city. They can win a double, a league and cup double, the Scottish Cup and the league, which obviously we handed to them. We can win a cup double, the League Cup and the Scottish Cup. We can ensure that we then move 2 trophies ahead of them collectively with all the trophies. They can move level with us on trophies. So it's not only just the who wins the game that's riding. There's an awful lot riding on this game. Adding to that, the ceremonial spectacular of the unveiling of the Sir Walter Smith statue as well, and the fact that players should not under any circumstances let Sir Walter down by bottling it against Celtic, again something that Walter's teams never ever did. So yes, he may have lost the odd old firm game, but he certainly didn't bottle it. Now, in terms of players that are missing from this squad, we know that going into this game on Saturday, the injury list is very, very long. The caliber of players as well, there are some players who are missing who, you would argue would certainly make the starting lineup. They certainly would. When you look at it, who starts as well, we'll look at that as well, a possible starting 11 if some players are back and some players are fit. Well, let's deal with who are missing first of all. So this is my missing players, with a player that I hope is missing from the squad on Saturday, or else I will really lose my temper with Philippe Clement. I'm sure he's really bothered. I'm sure he's actually genuinely couldn't give a monkey's what I think. But there we go. I'm sure some of you genuinely couldn't give a monkey's what I think. But these are the players that are missing. We find that they're all injured. You can't play them. I know, I'm saying that. So Balogun is a 50-50. He's a doubt for Saturday's game. So he could play, he might not play. We don't know yet whether Balogun will be available. John Suter is definitely out. Connor Goldson is definitely out. Borna Barisic, who despite the fact has not played, seems to have somehow developed an injury and is out as well. Bailey Rice, another one who obviously hasn't featured this year, but is a very promising, talented, up-and-coming player, is also out. Tom Lawrence is out. Robbie Matondo is out. Kemar Roof is out. Oscar Cortez is out. And Danilo is out. Now, you could argue that looking at that team, you're judging what Philippe Clement has done this year. You've probably got, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starters in that team missing. Obviously, the only thing that obviously we haven't got injuries to is the goalkeeping core. Obviously, John McLaughlin, Butland, Wright, McCrory, all available. So, I don't know what the goalkeepers are doing to stay fit, but they certainly are doing a good job. Maybe the goalkeeping coach should tell everyone else how to stay fit. I don't know. But that's the players that obviously they're out. Now, John Lundstrom apparently could be involved as he was only suspended for the league games. I really hope that Philippe Clement does not pick him. I genuinely hope that he does not put him back in this team. Celtic run absolute rings round John Lundstrom. He is scared of Celtic, like I've said on multiple occasions. He's had one good game against them in 13 or 14 old firms as it is now. He was an absolute disgrace last time we played them. If Lundstrom starts on Saturday, it will be an absolute recipe for disaster. If Lundstrom starts and we go on to lose this final, Philippe Clement is making an absolutely massive rod for his own back. He's putting himself in a position where he is really ratcheting up the pressure on himself. Fans will not stand for John Lundstrom playing and us losing. That is just a common fact with our fan base. You've only got to look at the abuse that Todd Cantwell is currently getting. He's probably playing he's not probably, he is playing well at the moment, yet he's getting dogged abuse from some over his Instagram accounts. Personally, I'm going to say this now, and you may disagree with me. I could not give a flying fuck what he posts on Instagram as long as he plays well on the field on Saturday. And I think some of our fans are getting hideously overworked up over what he puts on Instagram. And some of the abuse, I've got to say, is absolutely bang out of order. A couple of fans calling him a C word. I don't want to use the word on here because I might get in trouble for using it. But I think if you're calling a Rangers player, one of our players, that word on X, you are coming out and saying that he is that. I'm sorry, you are bang out of order. You are absolutely bang out of order. Look, yes, I've slaughtered Dessers. Yes, I've slaughtered Scott Wright, but I've never resorted to calling them horrible names like that. So let's not do that. Let's get behind these players now on Saturday. And Todd Cantwell is probably one of the best players we've got on this team. And fans slagging him off is a disgrace. But yeah, the injury list is long. It is massive. And there are a number of players. I mean, as I said before, I think I tweeted out before the Celtic game, the one we lost when John Lundstrom handed them the title. If you played Cortez on the right side, Seamer on the left side, Campbell down the middle, and had the neo-fit play up front instead of Dessers, who misses a whole hatful of chances, a plethora of easy misses like the 4 that he missed on Saturday. You'd put fear into them. That's pace, that's power, that's attack, that's forward thinking, that's threat. That puts them under a whole load of pressure, something they don't like. So for me, it's huge having those players out. It's massive. Now, looking at a team we probably will play on Saturday, well, I'm hoping this is the team we'll play, and I'm hoping against hope that John Lundstrom is nowhere near the starting 11. So Jack Butland in goal obviously picks himself. Now, Jack came out with some really interesting comments during the last few days, where he's talked about the fact that the fact that we haven't won the title in the way that we didn't win the title, where we kind of threw it away, has hit him like a ton of bricks. It really shows this lad cares and he wants to be successful here. So fantastic from Jack. But he's right. He's right. It is just, I don't know. For me personally, thinking about this, it's kind of a hollow feeling. I've kind of felt hollow, kind of felt down, kind of felt a bit sick, kind of felt a bit fed up. Just a whole load of emotions, obviously since they won the title on Saturday. Just, not great, to be honest with you. Look, Tav should be dropped. I'm not going to have it that he shouldn't be, but he isn't going to be, is he? I mean, there's no way on God's earth that Philippe Clement is going to drop James Tavernier for a cup final. Yes, he should be dropped. Yes, he should be sold in the summer, but he isn't going to be. I think he'll still be here next season. I think Phil will be gone in October if Tav's still here. Midfield, the 2 now, hoping Balogun is back. Now, look, nothing against Leon King. He's a decent young lad. He's probably not the future. Balogun and Davis for me to start. I don't think Ben Davis has done a whole lot wrong in the last couple of games. I don't think the goals are down to him. I don't think, he's played at all badly. I think he's probably, for me, kind of won me round a little bit. And I'm not saying he's a starter next season, but as a squad player, I can't see why he couldn't be. Ridvan Yilmaz obviously has to be back in the starting line. I love Robbie Fraser. I think Robbie Fraser did really well. When he came on for that half an hour against Dundee, I thought he did well when he started against Hearts. But for me, you've got to start Ridvan on that left-hand side. He is by far our best behaviour. I think, he is our best player on that side. He has to play. Raskin and Diamande. I think, in midfield, Raskin just gives us legs. He gives us a bit more about that midfield, and I think that's something we need, especially when you've got McGregor up against you, you've got O'Reilly up against you, and you've got Hatate up against you. I just think that Raskin will provide a little bit more legs, just a little bit more in that midfield. Diamande has to start. Quality player. Love that Diamande. Don't get some of the abuse that he gets either. Uses the ball very well, takes it in tight spaces, does very well indeed. So Diamande for me starts. The 3 behind the striker. Look, I know Seaman's probably not 100%, but you've got to start him. This is a cup final. There's nothing left to lose. You've got a whole off season to come, whole pre-season to come. Play him. Just get him out there. Give him a game. Let him run at Celtic. Let him cause problems. Put him back on the left as well. I think Ross has to start on the right. Brilliant goal on Saturday in that unfortunate 3-3 draw. I like Ross McCausland. Again, I think the abuse that he gets from some of our fans is out of order. Todd Cantwell starts in the 10 role. Let Todd take it to them. Go on, Todd the Prod. Show it. Show them how much you hate them. Go out there and rub their faces in it and take their double from them. Go on, Todd the Prod. Dessers has to start from because realistically there is no one else. As much as I would love to see Roof start, he's injured. As much as I would love to see Danilo back, he's injured. As much as I would love to see Zach Lovelace start in place of Dessers, he's injured. So look, it's got to be Dessers, unfortunately. Do I trust him? Nah. Chance falls to him in the 90th minute and it's 1-1 or it's 0-0 or 1-0 down. Do I trust him? Nah. But look, at the end of the day, that's probably the strongest team we've got. That's probably what we've got going into this game. So look, whatever happens, it's massive on a huge scale. And we'll obviously continue to build up to the game on Saturday throughout this week. Now, so far, we've had 4 names primarily linked with a move to the club. Cordoba, the Panamanian central defender, who, according to reports coming out of his native Panama, it looks like, he looks like he has signed on the dotted line. He's agreed personal terms. A contract has been agreed. It's just now a case of Rangers and Levski Sofia thrashing out personal terms. Mofa Keng is the 19-year-old South African winger. Again, a player that, it looks like Albion Rahmani is a Kosovan striker. And Kitishvili is a Georgian attacking midfielder. All probably names you probably sitting there now and going, who? But look, I get 100% that you're probably all wanting names you haven't got to Google. But as a club, we are not in a position at this moment in time to go out and splash massive amounts of money on English Premier League stars or La Liga stars or Serie A stars or Ligue 1 stars. We just have not got the funds at this moment to do it. We've got to cast our net far and wide. We've got to look for these bargains, these players who, look, despite the fact they probably don't play in stellar leagues or for stellar teams, have got huge potential and huge ability to come through and really develop into very talented players. And just because they come from countries that are not stylish countries, that are not Holland, Spain, France, Germany, England, doesn't mean that they are crap, doesn't mean that they are second rate. I think it's a bit of football snobbery to think that you can only get a great player from England or Italy or Spain or Holland or Germany. I think you've got to kind of open your mind a little bit and allow yourself to kind of go on this journey. Now, the first obviously name is that Jose Cordoba. Cordoba is a left-sided centre-back. Like on the video we put out last night here on the channel, looks like he is a done deal. Just a case of obviously us thrashing out a fee with Levski Sofia. And obviously until the fact the transfer window doesn't open until the 14th of June, we can't formally agree a move for him. But I think that's a good move. That's a good first move. I'm not saying that should be the end of the business at centre-back. I think we need another one. I think, again, we need another commanding presence at the back. Hopefully that is something the club are looking to address. Certainly don't want to see Connor Goldson back there next season. Mofa Keng, another player, Rahadabahili Mofa Keng, the South African winger, quick, tricky, skillful, 19 years old, contributed well this season to the wonderfully named Orlando Pirates. Again, I think, would be a good, young, talented player to bring in, a good, young, talented signing. Looks like it is in the works, according to the reports that are coming out of South Africa and certain media outlets in Scotland as well. I know you've got to kind of take all this with a pinch of salt at this stage until the actual official unveiling pictures at Auckland Howie or at Ibrox. But we've got to have faith in Niels Koppen and Philippe Clement that they are looking at good young players to bring in and build this squad up. And for me, Mofa Keng and Cordoba could well, really be players that we are looking at. Okay, so let's look at this next guy. This guy is a guy called Otar Kitashvili. He is a Georgian international attacking midfielder. He played last season for Austrian champions Sturm Graz and is a Georgian international. He can play left midfield, he can play centre midfield, but he is primarily an attacking midfield player. He has a market value of around 3 million. However, he will be available for free in the summer as he is out of contract with Sturm Graz. He was voted one of the top players in the Austrian league this season. In the Austrian Bundesliga, he made 25 appearances for Sturm Graz, scoring 9 goals and getting 6 assists. So that's 15 goal contributions from an attacking midfielder, pretty decent. Playing 75% of their starting 11, 68% of the minutes, and had a 27% goal contribution. He also played in 5 Europa League ties and had 2 assists. He played in 2 Champions League games as well, and played in 4 Conference League games, scoring 1 goal. He also played in 4 Austrian Cup games, scoring 1 goal and getting 1 assist. It's thought that he is interesting Rangers and is a player that we are looking at, especially given the fact that he will cost nothing. Altogether this season, he's made 40 appearances with 11 goals, 9 assists. That's 20 goal contributions this season. 1 in. Apologies to that guy. I don't know what happened there, why it dropped out, but it just suddenly dropped out. So yeah, Kitashvili, I think, is a decent signing. Someone it is well worth looking at, especially as the fact he will cost absolutely nothing this summer. So who else is on the list? Well, another player that has been linked is this striker here, Albion Rahmani, who is a Kosovan international who currently plies his trade in Romania. Now, this guy is very talented. This guy is a good goal scorer. He is someone who, like I said, is interesting Rangers. However, it's also thought to be interesting Benfica and Aston Villa. The big hang up over this is apparently that he has a reported value of around 10 million euros. He is still under contract until 2026. His market value, according to Transfer Market, though, is only 2.3 million. It's thought that 10 million is very much a kind of pie in the sky kind of thinking. This season, he's made 10 appearances in the Super League Championship group for the Romanian League. It splits off into a playoff kind of thing. 4 goals, 2 assists. That's 6 goal contributions in 10. In the actual Romanian Super League, he made 15 appearances, scoring 13 goals with 3 assists. That's 16 goal contributions in 15 games. He also played twice in the Champions League qualifiers and made 2 appearances, scoring 2 goals in the UEFA Conference League as well for his team, which is FC Rapid Bucharest from Romania. Now, some stumbling blocks why I do not think that this one is a realistic goer for Rangers. Number one, Aston Villa and Benfica have substantially higher budgets than Rangers and could well trump whatever Rangers offer for Rahmani. Also, obviously, Villa can offer English Premier League football and Champions League football. I know we can offer possible Champions League football next season. Now, on top of that, FC Rapid Bucharest have just made a new managerial appointment. Yes, that's right. There is a new manager in place in Bucharest. And who is it? It is none other than Neil Lennon, former Celtic manager Neil Lennon, who, as we know, absolutely hates Rangers. And it is reported would put a block on this player joining the club. So I think that this one is pretty much a dead, defunct deal, something that will not happen. Now, as much as I would love to see someone like Rahmani at Ibrox, he is a very talented striker, quite clearly. You've only got to look at his goals to games ratio this season. 30 appearances, 19 goals, 5 assists, 24 goal contributions in 30. That is pretty damn good. Again, another young player, an international. Again, someone who is going to be worth, I think, a great deal more money in the future. So, look, for me, personally, I think that's definite goer, but I do think that this deal has zero chance of succeeding, given the factors that I've said: the Villa and Benfica interest, the inflated transfer fee that Bucharest are looking for, and the fact that former Celtic manager and Rangers hater Neil Lennon is in charge. Well, guys, let me know what you think of the stories we've covered in the video today. Obviously, please smash the sub and help the channel to keep on growing. As always, on the way out, there's 2 things I ask of you. Number 1, please smash the like. It defeats the evil algorithm that lurks in the YouTube cave. And the second thing, guys, remember always, we are the people.